Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the 14th installment of this Ramadan Tafseer, looking at the Quranic ayats through the lens of Balagha. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, hamdan kathiran tayyiban mubarakan fi mil as-samawati wa mil al-ardi wa mil ma baynahuma wa mil ma shi'ta min shay'in ba'da أهل الثناء والمجد حق ما قال العبد وقلنا لك العبد أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. أما بعد, in this session we'll be looking at Surah Al-Hijr, the rocky plain, as well as Surah Al-Nahl, the bee. Both surahs are Makki surahs, and again they will be looking at the primary tenets of faith. But in Surah Al-Hijr is a surah that shows the vociferous opinion of the disbelievers, the mushrikeen, and how they came with their slanders by Islam and the lies, and how opinionated they were. So this addresses that. It's a surah that also looks at consoling the Prophet once again, and tells us the stories about Lut alayhi salam, Shu'aib alayhi salam, as well as Salih, Prophet Salih alayhi salam. And in this surah, it finally ends with talking about the Quran and the glorious Quran, and what a big ni'mah it is, a big blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then the Surah Al-Nahl, we have the bee, and that kind of gives an indication that it's about creation. It most certainly is. It is one that entices us to marvel at the creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, to ponder, to reflect, to contemplate, and to link ourselves with our Mawla, the one who's created all. And in this is the signs of His oneness and signs of His existence. How can it be all this and there not be a creator for it, and there not be one creator for it? Alhamdulillah. The first ayah I wanted to look at, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِ وَالْقُرْآنَ الْعَظِيمِ. We have given you the 7 oft-recited verses and the Quran, the glorious Quran. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought a specific thing, the 7 oft-recited verses, before bringing the general thing, the Quran. So it's kind of adjoined to the end of the specific general. And in the 7 oft-recited verses, which is the Fatiha, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we have the summary of our whole faith. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, all praise and thanks be to Allah, and how indebted to Allah we are for everything that He has provided us. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, the most beneficent. Maliki Yawmiddin, the owner of the great day, the Lord of the great day, the day of judgment. So here now is brought into us that there is an akhirah. It's not just this world and that's it. There is life after death. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, and unto you is our worship. So here we go, and we understand that there's a purpose. Our purpose is solely to worship Allah, servitude, ubudiyya, and إِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ, we seek your help, and it's only through Allah we get benefit, we get harm. Everything good and bad, everything comes from Allah. And in the next verse, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم, guide us onto the straight path. This informs us there's more than one path, the path of good and the path of evil. And the path of good is straight to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the path of evil, it's crooked, it's bent, it turns, and that's where Shaitan with his whisperings is trying to lure you away from the straight path and into the sides. And when we get there, we get lost and we get turned around, and it takes an effort to get back onto the straight path. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has left Iblis, has given him respite that he asked for, that leave me and whoever I take, let me take whoever I take with me. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do. He'll let whoever follows him, and he'll put them all and deposit them all into the Jahannam, the pit of fire. May Allah protect us from that. Ameen. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Surat al-Ladina anamta alayhim, the path that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with His favors. غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ بِعَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِّينَ, not the path of those who earned your wrath, your anger, which is the Jews, as well as the ones who went astray, which is the Christians. So Allah now mentioned two different other groups who came before us, who preceded us, and they should be examples for us that we do not follow the way they did. So whenever they are addressed in the Quran, we need to see how our position is in terms of that, in terms of the ayat and what it is telling us. So in the Quran we have the biggest ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the issue is we do many khatams of the Quran, yet we do not change our behavior, we do not change our lives. So there's trying to get beyond and trying to understand what the Quran is saying, and then therefore it can have more of an effect on us. Because when verses of mercy are recited, we don't even seek mercy. When verses of punishment are recited, we do not seek to be saved from those punishments. We just read, and we don't get anything from the Quran in that sense. Reading it, we do get rewards and we get shifa and all that, but we don't get the more deeper thing, the deeper attachment to it. And when verses of lessons, of ibras are mentioned, we cannot take any lessons because we do not understand it. May Allah make us from those who learn the Quran and can teach the Quran. In the second verse, Allah SWT says, وَخْفِضْ جَنَاحَكَ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So this is an address to the Prophet ﷺ, that you lower your wings for the weak, for the Muslims, for the believers. And being addressed to the Prophet ﷺ is also an address to us. There are things that are specific for the Prophet ﷺ, and this is not one of those verses. So we lower our wings, and this is a metaphor for lowering your wings like a bird, how it would lower its wings. It's for humility, to lower yourself in submission and humility. This goes with another ayah that comes in 2 surahs further down in Surah Isra. وَاخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. This is referring to the dua we make for our parents, that Allah have mercy on our parents as they brought us up through our youth. They're the ones who raised us. And he says, وَاخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ, that you lower your wings of submission and mercy unto them. So again, here these two verses is using a metaphor, is using an isti'ara for humility. The next verse, Allah SWT says, وَالَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ لَا يَخْلُقُونَ شَيْئًا وَهُمْ يُخْلَقُونَ. That those whom they, the mushrikeen, invoke besides Allah, idols, statues, the ones who the mushrikeen worship, have not created anything, nor are they created. Further on he goes, أَمْوَاتٌ غَيْرُ أَحْيَا. So it says dead, omitting a word, hum ahya, they are dead. It is ahya, amwat, they are dead. Dead, it just says dead. غَيْرُ أَحْيَا. So it adds another word, not alive, because we know when Allah SWT says dead, we know that they're not alive, but Allah still said not alive. This is to this is itnab, this is adding an extra wording to it to bring out more eloquence in this and bring more of a bring more meaning to what Allah SWT is trying to say. And here it's kind of mocking them, like that they don't create anything, they're not themselves, they're created by you. You're the one who makes these idols, so aren't you more superior than them? But here you are, you're worshipping these idols who you ascribe partners to Allah through these things, through these intermediaries. So, how foolish are you? This is like a sort of mockery and ridicule. So he added dead, further on to that, not alive. He's trying to really mock these people and ridicule them and say, look, this is what you're doing, and this is far from intelligence. Further on it goes, and they know not when they will be raised up. These idols, they don't know anything. They don't know when the resurrection will happen. Nothing. So this is what they worship, and they think they associate partners through this. In the next verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, He gives an order, فَتَمَتَّعُوا, enjoy. This is a way of warning and a threat. It's not really enjoy. It's enjoy. فَسَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ, you will come to know. You will come to know the punishment. So enjoy what you want from this temporary dunya, this ending dunya that will come to an end soon, and you will come to know soon. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses amr here, but meaning a warning and a threat to them. And in the next verse, إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى. So here's three things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is enjoining upon us to give, to be good, to be good, to show ihsan, to be kindness to others, to be just amongst others, and to give to your near relatives in terms of what the rights are. Give them the rights. So that's three things to do, the good. And then وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ وَالْبَغْيِ, and then three opposing things that are in the bad section, to not do, forbidden, which is to forbid shameful acts, evil acts, and oppressive attitude. So here is muqabala. When I said there's more than one thing that's being opposing, contrasting ideas, then it breaks beyond at-tibaq, and now it goes on to muqabala. So there's three things of doing and three things of not doing, for being forbidden, being commanded and forbidden from. So this is muqabala in that sense. And may Allah make us hold tight to the Quran that was mentioned in this, and so that we may benefit from it immensely and greatly. Take care of our parents, be humble to them, with humility to them, and whatever does not benefit us, like idols, we stay away from, and it takes away our time, and we focus solely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barak wa sallam.